Well, hello and welcome to Jonathan from the Heart, where I answer your personal questions. And today our topic is what to say and how to date a grieving parent. Now, before I get started, my name is Jonathan Asley, and I'm a dating and relationship coach specializing in midlife. And I'm also a person who lost a child. In July of 2018, I lost my 19-year-old son, Connor. In fact, I'm actually wearing his shirt. So I'm going to show you a picture of him. Let's see. And you can see that the shirt he's wearing is the same shirt that I'm wearing. And in his honor, I wanted to wear that today. And the topic I wanted to talk about is what to say to a grieving parent and also how to date a grieving parent, because I'm a person who's single and dating. And I thought I might give some insight into how to navigate that from at least everything is from my perspective. So what to say to a grieving parent? I know personally, I must have went 50 plus years before I really interacted with people who lost a child. I don't know. I mean, in some ways I'm blessed. I'm grateful that I didn't have to experience that. I've certainly had friends that have lost loved ones, but very few that have lost a child. And so going through this experience, I know it's so awkward to know what to say to a grieving parent. Because there's so many different things, and it's certainly awkward because the death of a child goes against the natural order of things, and so it can be very confusing. So I wanted to share with you what brings me comfort, and maybe this might help you as well. And I can tell you a couple things that I don't like. First and foremost, I really don't like when people say it's God's plan. When someone says that to me, I want to punch them in the face, okay? I don't want to hear that that was some separate plan, okay? I certainly can recognize that in Connor's experience, whatever his journey was his journey, and maybe the ending of his mortal life was his plan. But I don't want to hear about it that it's God's plan kind of thing. So, and I suspect many of you can relate to that, but maybe you can't, but I just want to share with you, that pisses me off. I think the other things that bother me is when people start giving me advice on how I should grieve. This is my own individual experience, and I know many of you and many people are coming from a loving place, so they don't want to, they're coming from a place of wanting to help. But I can be honest with you, getting advice on how to grieve is not what I want to hear. And even though it's been a year plus since then, I still don't like getting it when people send me links of how to grieve and stuff like that. It's just, I'm going through my own journey, and I appreciate that experience. When I say I appreciate that experience, I'd appreciate if you allow me to have my own experience. The third thing is when someone says, I'm sorry for your loss. And I guess I'm bothered by that because you didn't do anything wrong. And so I say I'm sorry when I step on someone's foot. I say I'm sorry, for things that I've done, but I don't feel comfortable with that. So here's the things I like to hear. I like to hear, I'm so sad to hear this news. My heart goes out to you. You are in my prayers. I can tell you one of my dearest friends says to me every time I see him, he says, you are in my prayers. My wife and I, you're in my prayers. And that means a lot to me. Or something along the lines, I'm sending you love. I'm sending you love. Or even better, can I give you a hug? Can I give you a hug? Those are things that mean a lot to me. I mean, I can't speak for all grieving parents. I can only speak for this one. But when someone says, can I just give you a hug and connect with you? That's about the most beautiful thing. And if it can't be physical, then please make it virtual, because that brings me a lot of joy. So those are kind of a couple of things I wanted to share as far as what to say. Now, as far as how to date a grieving parent, I'm going to share with you just one aspect and to give you some perspective here. My child is not going to be going further in this life. And so dating people that have children, their children are on the forefront of their life. So many people are reluctant to talk about your child because they don't want to trigger you to, agitate you, get you upset or sad. And it's quite the opposite, because one of the things I fear is my child to be forgotten. You know, unlike his brother who's still around and I might talk about him, it's the child that's gone. So when he's not talked about, that actually hurts more, especially if someone's talking about their children and their aspirations and stuff like that. And maybe they talk about my son who's alive, but my son who's not here almost feels forgotten. So my invitation to how to date a grieving parent is to say, tell me about your son, tell me about your child. I want to hear stories about him. Please engage, tell me stories. And frankly, I can't imagine any grieving parent that's going to be triggered by this, because while we may be sad, it also allows us to come from a place of pride, a place to be able to share what we're feeling and to make him or them a part of the relationship. So I encourage you that if you're dating a grieving parent, to ask about their child. Tell me stories about them. Tell me about their childhood. Tell me something funny. Ask questions as you're sharing your own experience, maybe about your own children, or even asking about my oldest son. Now, I wanted to make this video short. So those are the two main things I wanted to talk about, is what to say and how to date a grieving parent. And I'd certainly like to hear your thoughts. So please post a comment below. I'd love to get an engagement here. If you have any additional suggestions, please do. In fact, I'm sharing a question that was asked of me, but maybe you have questions in your life that you'd like to explore. I would love to be able to talk to you about your specific personal questions. And if you're interested in that, you might be interested in my membership community called Midlife Love Mastery. You simply go to my website, jonathanaslay.com, click the group coaching button where you can join a group where if you ask a personal question, I will shoot a video in Facebook and then send out that video via mailer to the group. And the group is simply $1 for the first month to try it. And then it's $19 a month. And we do a live call once a month. And we've got tons and tons of videos relating to midlife love. Because it's all about loving ourselves and loving others. And for those who don't know, I'm the author of What the Heck is Self-Love Anyway? So I'm all about how to create more love in your life, whether it's romantic love or love for oneself. So I invite you to join my Midlife Love Mastery group. Okay, I'm going to sign off this video as I always do, giving you a big, gigantic Jonathan Bear hug if I have your consent. Aw, thanks so much. Wishing you a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye-bye now.